This and every episode of REKT Podcast is brought to you by Beaksy Exchange, an upcoming cryptocurrency exchange built in collaboration with OneMarket Data. Beaksy is bringing legacy finance speed, power, and sophistication to crypto for the first time. With 225,000 transactions per second per pair, comparable to NASDAQ, 15 order types on day one, with 25 order types on full rollout, and a dedicated customer support team, Beaksy is setting itself apart from the competition. Check out Beaksy today at Beaksy.com and pre-register today at Beaksy.com/registration to get your free Beaksy Exchange tokens. That's Beaksy.com, BEAXY.com.
This is Mr. Travis Wright of the Bad Crypto Podcast, and you're about to get wrecked.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu Betts alongside one of my esteemed colleagues and co-hosts, Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing today, buddy?
Bunchu, today is a good day. I sent you a picture of why it's a good day in our chat. I just finished my favorite sandwich, a chicken and waffle sandwich with bacon, and some Ontario's finest medium maple syrup. It was a frickin' delight. And,
it sounds delectable. I'm jealous. Chicken and waffles, one of my favorite meals. And to stay bad this week, we have the second, in no particular order, host of Bad Crypto Podcast.
Let's be honest. We saved the best for last. Come on.
Travis Wright. Travis, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. No, let's actually be honest. I canceled on you guys twice. We had to reschedule.
Hey, we weren't gonna rag on you.
Hey, matter of fact, you guys, I got another kid thing I got to go to right now. So,
how many kids do you have?
I don't know. They just keep popping up. Like, you're my daddy.
You, man. I hear you.
Yeah. You're my dad. Take me to karate.
Yeah, like, no.
That's so funny.
How many kids do I have? I should have used a rubber.
That's awesome. So yeah, we had Joel on our podcast that came out Tuesday. So this is going to be Thursday. We are glad to have you. We are both fans of your show, so we are definitely glad to have you talk with you a little bit here. We can get right into it. So, Travis, it's a good day because Chamber ate a chicken and waffle sandwich, but let's be real, it's a bad day. We are watching our crypto, as you put it so lovingly, dwindle away to nothing. How you feeling about the markets and everything going on right now?
Well, I think as I mentioned in the pre-show when we were just chatting, Joel and I were chatting just the other day. We're like, if we could turn back time, we go like to January 7th and sell all our cryptos, and then I'd be all like, sorry for all you losers holding the crypto. Hodl, sodl is what you should have done. But no, I actually hodled. I did not sodl, did not fodl.
I've hodled, and then since soddled and capitulated, and now I'm just waiting. And meanwhile, Chambers over here scooping up all the altcoins like a bandit. So
that's right.
That's great.
But yeah, it's a sad day. We are at Bitcoin. Just I think is breaking that. We are in the 3680 range right now, which is it's
not ideal.
Pretty bleak out there, but. We are here to bring you some brightness to your crypto REKT. But we will, Travis, I was listening to one of your shows the other day, and you said that you were the long-lost brother of Craig Wright. And so, obviously the Wright brothers were first in flight. Will you and Craig Wright be the first to the moon?
Well, Craig and I, we go way back. I'm fake Toshi, not a Moto. So
That's
the
funny.
the future is fake Toshi, or fake Toshi is female, or I don't know. I've seen all those different T-shirts. I don't know.
I think Cynthia has a Satoshi is female shirt that she rocks.
That's true.
So we wanted to ask you, as we ask all of our guests here, kind of how you got into crypto. What is your, crypto story? Where'd you start? How'd you get to be where you are today?
Well, way back in the day, back in the aughts, I was, So I'm a marketing technologist. So I see things before most people see things, and I'm always out there exploring and checking stuff out. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't play video games on any console. I haven't had a console game since Nintendo 64. Right? I played Zelda and mastered it, and I was like, how many freaking hours did I just spend on that? I was like, 100 and how many? Oh my God, 180 hours or something stupid. And I was like, wow. Now, if I play more games like this, I'm just going to waste time. And so I thought I could be stacking skills and learning new shit instead. And so I spend time learning and listening and audiobooks and reading and shit, and check out a lot of websites. And I think one day I was on Slashdot, and I was checking it out, and I was looking, and I read an article about the Bitcoins, and I was like, oh, that's digital money? Okay. Kind of, it's like the evolution of PayPal kind of a thing. This was like 2010, I think. And so I had an old laptop. That was my only laptop, and I decided to mine some crypto, figured out how to install it, was mining it. My fan was going crazy on my computer. I actually mined a block of Bitcoin. I got 50 Bitcoin.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and then on the Slashdot article, I believe it said that there was a place where you could go. It was a Bitcoin faucet, and if you went there every day, they would give you 5 Bitcoin.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty smart, so I decided to go only one time. And I thought,
Make
well,
sure
this
to
is
share it
really
with
cool,
everybody.
and then I forgot about it, right?
Oh,
well,
no.
then my computer crashes about 2 months later, and I get all my files off of it and, recycle the computer. And then in 2013, I realized I had Bitcoin on that old computer that I threw away.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, oh, what? Like, when it hit up to like $1,200 or whatever it is, and I was like, oh, Bitcoin, I have Bitcoin. Oh, I don't have any more Bitcoin. Oh. But you know what? I would have sold it all then, probably.
Yeah.
And then
that's true.
I wouldn't have waited until December of last year to sell it for $1 million.
I would have sold so early. It wouldn't be funny. I'd be like, I made $1,000 today, you suckers. I'm out.
There's people out there, no, you got to hodl. What the fuck does that mean?
And you're
no,
like, you just can't spell.
Yeah.
You're like,
you're
can't
retarded.
That's pretty funny. I mean, it still blows my mind, obviously. So, just for your background, Chamber and I both got in some point in 2017. I was kind of in that March area. Chamber back in November of 2017. So,
and not even early November. It was late November.
Right. So Chamber
You're
was
like, let's get in
top.
at the high. So you guys like wrecked yourself. You're like, let's start a podcast. Crypto hasn't said its all-time high. Let's buy now.
Exactly. So so I can't even imagine what it was like for yourself and some of these guys that were mining 50 Bitcoins in a single block. And the idea of a 5 Bitcoin faucet at this point is just insane to me also.
Dude, I think Nick Szabo or somebody set up one of those. Somebody set that thing up, the Bitcoin faucet. Might have been Szabo. But, I mean, really, it was one of those things where I touched it, and then I didn't come back to it again until, 2013. And then, I came back to it again in 2015, and then came back to it again in 2017. The problem was I didn't have any crypto buddies. Everyone I talked to about crypto, they would be like, what? I'm like, dude, blockchain, this Bitcoin thing, what do you think about it? Let's figure it out. They're all like, and they would just, and I was like, I wanted to have a research buddy, to kind of banter back and forth.
For sure, absolutely.
If you don't have that, and early on in the game, it was just hard to get it to stick. And I wish we had, because if so, then I would have had a hell of a lot more crypto in the big time when it rolled around. But
absolutely,
never found a crypto buddy, man.
So, do you have any now? Do you have any in real life crypto buddies?
You know what? We have I'm on a group on WhatsApp with some friends, and they're from down under, and they're from Australia, and there's some in the UK as well. But I don't know if you know this, but over there, the C word is like they use that as like, hey, you're a good C word. Like in America, you use the C word, and it's like the worst thing ever. So I'm in a group called the Crypto C word, plural.
Crypto Curious.
Yeah, Crypto Curious. And so we have chats there. Joel and I chat quite a bit as well. Plus now, since we've had this show, if crazy stuff goes on, then there's all kinds of former guests and stuff that's been on the show that I can ping and chat.
Well, and you go on a lot of the. You seem to be the reporter in the field for bad crypto. You're out on the yachts, or not the yachts, but the cruises and that kind of stuff. And does Joel stay? Is he more of like a homebody, and you're out having the fun? Or
well, you know what? I would say this. I love traveling, right? And I know, and Joel's about, he's close to a decade older than me, so he's been traveling around. He's done all this. There's a lot of these places I haven't seen yet, so I'm like, cool, yeah, I'll go, and you pay my travel or whatever, I'll come out there. That'd be great. Or sometimes even if they don't pay the travel, I'm like, all right, this is a cool deal. I'll go do it. Joel's to the point where he doesn't like to do that. If it's not, travel's not covered with luxury, and he doesn't have his green M&Ms
and per diem.
Yeah,
I want to see. What's on Joel's rider. Like, he only needs the green M&Ms.
I bust his balls about that all the time, but it's literally not true. I don't think he has a rider. But I just always liked. I got him on our 1 year anniversary of Bad Crypto. I got him a bunch of shit from the M&M store, and it was all green M&Ms. Got him green M&M socks, green M&M golf ball.
That's fantastic. So, I guess then it sounds like, you had gone to it, learned about it, gone away from it, come back, and you'd always been curious. What kind of got you in for the long haul? Was it those crypto buddies? Was it the price? What kind of really drew you in for, now you're in deep, obviously, with the show and just everything that's happened?
Well, one of the things that sort of got me back into this was, so the election in 2016 was just crazy, right? The politics around that was just insane. It's still insane. It's still in some cases maybe more insane now. I don't know. But nobody thought Trump was going to win, and when Trump won, everybody freaked out and was looking for excuses or reasons or blaming, right? And so I wrote an article on Huffington Post because I read all of the WikiLeaks stuff. I mean, I read Hillary's emails, and there was some crazy shit in there. And I think a lot of people have only said, the whole thing about the hack is, Russians hacked Hillary's emails and hacked the election. Like, oh yeah, but they don't actually talk about what's in those emails. And when you read that stuff, you're going, damn. I read I don't know how many emails, and I did not read one thing where they were talking about what they were going to do for the American people, what they were going to do to, help shit or policies. It was all just like how they could do this or pay this person to do this, or here's these reporters, they can do that. And then the dude lost his wallet, the pedestrian, he lost his phone. He left it in a taxi, and his password on his phone was password with a capital P and an @ sign and a 0 for word, right?
Wow.
And for the 0. And
that's still more complex than mine.
Dude, my son could hack that. My daughter, who's like 12, could hack that, but it was the Russians. And so I said, people can blame, you can cry about the problem, but what we need is a solution. The solution we need, in some cases, is some sort of civic identity that's on the blockchain and blockchain voting. Like, if we could have those two things, because I understood blockchain enough to mean that it's transparent. You can't go back and edit them. You can't all of a sudden find a box of votes in a taxi cab somewhere.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what that was all about. I was literally rolling my eyes until my eyes rolled around my head 3 times. And then I was like, are you serious? People buying into this? So I wrote an article on Huffington Post and said, we need a solution, and that's the solution. And then after that, Joel and I were already talking politics. Then this other guy came to me and said, hey, there's this group of people who are building a social network that's going to basically validate news and do all this other. It's going to be kind of like Reddit, but it's not good. It's going to be on the blockchain. And so I was like, well, that's cool. Let me think about that. And so doing research about, crypto projects and creating, actually it wasn't even going to be a crypto project at first. It was just going to be a solution to help solve some of these problems. And turned out the CEO was a little wishy-washy, so that project didn't end up happening. But Joel and I had lots of conversations about blockchain and crypto, and we just all of a sudden decided to do a show. And then once we decided to do the show, we did massive action and launched the show. We did it within 48 hours, right? It was like,
that's insane.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So you read all the emails. How many of them started with sorry for the delayed response? Because I feel like that's how I start every one of my emails as an adult.
Yeah, right. That's true. Sorry for the. Oh wait, I hadn't got back to you in 10 days. Damn.
Sorry.
Well, this
for
is
the
Get
delayed
REKT
response.
podcast, so you got to smoke lots of weed before you do the show. That's what they said. They sent me an email and they said, make sure you're wrecked. Maybe you're stoned or drunk before you do the show.
You got to be one of the two. You got to be one of the two.
Exactly.
So I'm both.
That's perfect. That's the best case scenario.
Those are the criteria to be on the show. Exactly. That's funny, man. So, yeah, that's really cool. So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome journey to how you got to where you are today. What did you, for anybody who might not know of your career before any of this crypto stuff, how did you, make your career before that?
Well, I was in Tijuana as a stripper.
Fantastic.
And, I was really inspired by that Chris Farley Chippendales video.
He should have won. He got robbed. He got robbed in that contest.
I said, I can do this, man. Chris Farley can. No. So way back in the day, I was a zygote. I was in my dad's ball sack. And then how far do we want to go back? I don't know.
I mean, that's Genesis. That's the Genesis block right there.
The Genesis cock.
Genesis block.
That's the Genesis cock is what
that's
that
true.
is.
It's the cock chain. You got to
exactly.
get it all in there. It's transparent.
That's the hashtag for today's show, Genesis cock.
Genesis cock. All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Very nice. So, what was the question?
What'd you do before crypto, essentially? What was your career?
Yeah, so I am a marketing technologist. I'm also an author. I'm a keynote speaker. I've done a lot of different stuff. But I think what I really am is I'm a perpetual learner and doer, right? Like, cool. I explore and test shit. And that's from once I stopped playing video games, I was already developing websites. And but I said, you know what? How does this internet stuff work? What is this AdSense? How are you making money online? Online this. And what about mobile advertising? And social media came out. And I was doing SEO, search engine optimization, way back in the 90s before Google was around. I figured out some black hat tricks that if you just put a bunch of words that you wanted to rank for as the same color as the background in this little div, and you could just push it off the side of the page. Like, they would think that page was really important about that word, right? Really? And so I was hacking search engines early on and playing around, and so, I gained some notoriety in that space. I did that. I did SEO stuff for well over a decade, paid search. Then I had agencies and worked with different teams and tested a lot of stuff and worked with different clients and helping them out with marketing strategies and whatnot. And then one of my jobs was I was the global digital strategist for Symantec for the Norton antivirus brand. So I did that. And then I left there, picked up some cool startup projects, built a new agency. And then for the last 5 years, I've had ccp.digital, where we do paid search, paid social. We do Facebook, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, display ads, and all kinds of different strategies and stuff. So I still have that, and my team's going strong on that. And while Joel and I make a fool of ourselves talking about the cryptos.
That sounds like a good deal.
Sounds like a good gig, right?
Yeah, not bad.
That's awesome. So, Travis, we wouldn't be REKT Podcast if we didn't ask you. Obviously, you shared one with us already about the lost Bitcoins on the computer. Some of your best crypto REKT stories. Have you had any REKT experiences, aside from losing your 50 Bitcoin on that computer, but which is pretty REKT?
Well, I would say, so I've had multiple REKT sessions, which is good. I think I'm just a little sloppy with, it's like a pain in the ass. It's like, don't put your private keys on the internet. Don't have them on your computer. And don't do this and here. It's like, well, where do I put them all? That's in a safe spot because I'm not going to remember all those digits and numbers, right?
Right.
So it's a pain to try to come up with a process. And then a couple of times I've either put the wrong thing down or I forgot to write it down or something. And recently, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we have a bad coin.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We told you about bad coin?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually doing some new stuff with Badcoin, and we're going to be talking about that here moving forward. But, one of my Badcoin accounts, I can't get into it because I gave the password to my kid because when we were giving out Badcoin, it was like, comment on these posts or do this and you'd win free, but we give away Badcoin, right?
Yep.
So we gave away, we gave away about 2 billion Badcoin.
That's a lot of bad coin.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
A lot of bad coin.
We've given away about 2 billion bad coin. And then, my son has in the account, neither one of us remember, and there's like about 700 million bad coin in there. But I don't know. Bad coin's not worth anything, but it's kind of funny when you get wrecked on your own crypto.
Right, that's fantastic.
That's pretty good.
Just wait till that one day where bad coin is somehow worth $1.
Well, we're actually, I think we could be able to fix it. And we'll have some more news about that here coming up shortly.
We actually talking bad coin hard fork?
We're talking bad coin blockchain, baby.
TV, Travis's vision? No.
Travis's vision.
Fake Toshi's vision.
That's fantastic. I also heard, I'm not sure, it was one of the most recent episodes you guys did, that you had some trouble with the IOTA wallet as well at one point.
Yeah, fuck IOTA.
Damn right.
Tangle bullshit. That
I
Tangle.
had some trouble with that wallet.
Oh, I gotta go search the whole Tangle for your transaction that I never find. And so it was just so weird whenever I set it up because it was like an early wallet, and then you had to go somewhere to get your Tangle code number, and then like it was just weird. And so
then
I
it wouldn't
screwed
line up, and it was I had the same problem, and it was all locked, and you couldn't transfer it, and it was just
Dude, I have like 4,000 of them just in La La Land. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know if I can write those off.
Probably.
All Travis's lost crypto. I was like, hey, I decided to finally write off that crypto I lost a few years ago. Yeah, that 55 Bitcoin. In January this year, whatever. To write those off. I lost 55 of those things.
It's so funny. Anyway, thanks for sharing those stories. We are going to get into the news.
We're actually going to get into the show. We're actually going to get into the show here.
That's it. So now we'll start the show. So, Chamber, start us off with one of those news stories you got there.
So, HTC's in the news. HTC demo crypto smartphone Exodus 1 at Slush 2018. I don't know what many of those words mean, but
Slush sounds delicious. It sounds like that thing.
I don't think it's what. I don't think it.
That's a conference. I believe it's in Helsinki.
Oh, that is 100% correct.
Look at Travis go.
This guy is not. He's not watching TV. He's not watching movies. He's not playing video games.
I was probably playing video games.
I gotta admit, I do watch some late night television now, but I've already DVR'd it. Like, there's two shows that I do like to watch very rarely, but I will watch them. One is Treehouse Masters. Like, this dude builds the baddest fucking treehouse you've ever seen ever.
Yep,
and it's hilarious. Love that show. My God, he builds the baddest tree houses, like super mega. Like dude, he has this one where he made Shaquille O'Neal a tree house. And Shaquille O'Neal's like, hey, he goes, hey Nelson, I'm gonna trust you to build a tree house. I'm gonna stay out of your way. I just see a big tree house. I want a tree house.
Yeah, that's a goddamn good tree house, man.
I could just see him sitting in the corner doing the shimmy, waiting for the tree house to be built. It's so funny because he's like hiding
behind trees, watching him do it and stuff, and it's like
so we. I used to work for a beer company, and the company was Sam Adams, and Boston Beer Company was the parent company, and they owned Angry Orchard, and they opened an orchard in Walden, New York, and they had the Treehouse Masters guys come and build a gigantic treehouse on the property, and with like full working bar and everything in there. It was pretty cool. So
nice.
I can relate to the Treehouse Masters for sure.
And let's bring that back to crypto. So like, we're gonna have this treehouse coin. And we're putting tree houses on the blockchain, and to get inside it, you got to have 3 tree tokens.
And there's no girls allowed.
No, actually, only women allowed.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're old men now. Yes, that's
right.
That's funny.
So, HTC Exodus 1. So, what's going on with this thing?
HTC is the first major manufacturers of electronics to put out a blockchain phone. So 10 years ago, consumer electronics manufacturer HTC made history when it released the HTC Dream, the first commercial device to utilize the Android operating system. So now, a decade later, HTC hopes to marry the two revolutions in Exodus 1, the first blockchain smartphone, produced by mainstream electronics manufacturer. Like I mentioned before, and Travis, you were 100% correct. This was introduced at Slush 2018, and that is held in Helsinki. So the Finny, you mentioned that too. That was the first one, but this will be the first kind of major manufactured one.
Interesting. Any interest in a blockchain phone? What is it? What is the really purpose? I guess I'm not sure.
So the big highlight here is, you can keep. They're talking about how everybody's taking your personal information, Google, Facebook.
Sure.
It doesn't get into specifics, but it says if we're putting our cell phones on the blockchain, we can control the information. This Exodus 1 will hold your private keys, but that's basically all I can see that it's doing.
What I've heard on some of these, it becomes really interesting because imagine this, like if you have your mobile phone, you have your crypto on your mobile phone, the chances, or at least the fear of you getting your crypto stolen is pretty huge.
Yeah.
If you're able to segment and create a whole new blockchain side of your phone, right, which becomes a cold storage wallet that's not attached to the rest of your phone, that's where it's huge. And I know that there's some other folks like Rivets. Rivets is a company based out of Cayman Islands, is partnered with Civic and with their digital identities, and they are actually working on something that works within the SIM card slot, right?
Oh, interesting.
And so, like, it can be its own separate wallet. They're doing something. So there's these people who are really thinking about this, and eventually we'll be able to store our crypto on our phone. But then again, that becomes another scary thing, because have you seen all these people who've been kidnapped and hijacked? And
no doubt.
We're all walking around with crypto on our phone, and we're known as having crypto or being in the crypto world. I'm not going to keep my bunch of crypto on my phone.
Absolutely. Nope. And how easy would it be? Like, I'm just thinking out loud for security purposes. I use my thumbprint or my retina scan to sign in. That's on you. You know what I mean? You can lose a thumb, or they can pop an eyeball out, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's your.
Well, imagine this. Imagine this. So, like, when the crypto market was pretty good, I sold some Bitcoin, and I actually bought some gold, and bought some gold coins. Right, not a whole bunch, but I bought a few. And then now the prices were low. I was like, you know what? I want to go take some of this gold that I bought, turn it into cash, and I want to go buy some cheap crypto, some altcoins that I really like, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I literally sold gold, and the dude, he goes, I've gone to this dude's place, I don't know, it's been open for like 20, 30 years, wrote me a check. I'm like, all right, it's good. Put it in my bank account. Turns out that check was no good, bounced. Right?
Shut up,
so
really?
I had to go back to the dude, get a check again, plus now the fees from the bounce, from the bounce transactions. Then I take it and I go and get cash for it, right? I go and get cash, $5,500 in hundreds, and then I go take it to my bank. And here I was going, holy shit, I got like $5,500 right here. I can be robbed. I can be robbed. Like, imagine when you're walking around with like a bunch of Bitcoin on your phone at all times. That just seems scary.
Yeah, that's for sure. I feel like we see more and more of those stories too, where people are getting kidnapped, murdered, whatever. So,
luckily, I live in a concealed carry state.
That's true. You can defend yourself.
Yeah. I just need to have this. Eventually, there's going to be the smartphone gun. It'll be on the blockchain.
It'll pop out of an app. Like go gadget gun.
It'll be like a taser thing. It'll fit right in the lightning thing, and it'll be like, you're trying to steal my cryptos?
The taser, the phone taser would be good. Yes,
I agree.
Just don't taser yourself.
Yeah, well, I would probably do that on accident too, because I'm a klutz. So
you'd be on Pornhub, and you'd be like,
that would be the worst tase.
No, see, then you'd get into it after that. You'd be like, maybe that was all right, actually. You know what?
You're like, ooh.
You're like, what's that? I'm a sub now. I guess I need a dominatrix to rule me.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyway, my story is. The crypto downturn claims another victim. Ethereum Classic dev team, ETC dev, shuts down. So this story is from ccn.com. I think you might have seen this flying around Twitter the other day. So the Ethereum Classic development team that launched in 2016 has shut down basically due to lack of funds. So their founder, Igor Artamonov, he basically said, as publicly known, we've been struggling with our funding and operation the last few weeks. And he said this was partially due to the market crash combined with a cash crunch in the company. And so there was some mass panic the other day about, what this meant for Ethereum Classic. And everybody was saying, okay, Ethereum Classic's done. It's going to zero. Their devs are shutting down. I think what's important to note here is that there is a distinction to be made here. This a couple hours later, after all the panic, the verified Ethereum Classic Twitter tweeted that Ethereum Classic is not ETC Dev. They're different. They work on different things. It's just one of the development groups that was contributing to Ethereum Classic. So keep calm and build on was their quote. So Ethereum Classic, not dead, although many people thought it was, and by the price, you would think it was as well.
That thing went from $9.50 around there to now $4.07 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember at its peak, it was in the 30. I think I saw it hit like 35 at some point.
Really?
So it's insane.
40-something, 42.75.
There you go.
Like, maybe even higher. Oh, yeah, 45.51.
Wow.
January 13th.
Yep. And so you said January 7th would be that day.
I made a lot of bad decisions that week.
So, we've seen the other big thing to, note here is like you're seeing a lot of companies here struggling with these massive sell-offs. So just last week we saw Steemit, the decentralized social media platform. They announced that they were laying off 70% of their employees.
Really?
The quote here from the founder, Ned Scott: "While we were building up our team over the last months, we had been relying on projections of basically a higher bottom for the market," Scott noted. He said, "Since that's no longer there, we've been forced to lay off more than 75% or 70% of our organizations." So, he basically said, hey, we were way off on these projections, and
we kept listening to Twitter, and
yeah, exactly. So it just begs the question, like with these ICOs that have raised all this money in the last year or so, what they're going to do while these prices are low, and are they going to be able to sustain their infrastructures and what they're spending, and are we going to see some of these projects just die?
There's going to see a lot of them die.
Yeah.
And here's why. Now imagine this. Some of these companies, they were raising it last year, and then the price of Ethereum went up, or they were raising money when the price of Ethereum was really high. And then what's happened is not only did maybe they raised $10 million, $12 million. Well, now that $12 million is worth $2 million. And if they didn't sell it, then they lost. And then if all those ICOs sold all their Ethereum back out, then what happens is that tanks the market, right? So they don't all want to sell all of their cryptos, their millions all at once. And now that we're having an ICO problem where there's not as many new ICOs, well, guess what? There's not as much stuff to buy, with your Ethereum. So the price of Ethereum has gone down. Even though the transaction volumes are still higher, the amount that's moving is not as much. And so I think that the prices have gone way down. Without ICOs driving the price, and then the fact that Bitcoin Cash happened, and next thing you know, everybody's sitting at Bitcoin Cash. They have Bitcoin. Bitcoin, what was it in October? Like $5,000 or $7,000? I don't even know exactly when Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin Cash split off in August. But then they just made all this additional money, and then Bitcoin goes up to 20, and then Bitcoin Cash goes up to like almost 4,000 or something, and then all that money went into alts. It was just all this money that was created from nowhere.
Yeah, especially the Bitcoin Cash money. It was just like I remember my buddy had Bitcoin on Coinbase, and they just decided, hey, we're going to honor all this Bitcoin Cash fork, and you're going to, for every Bitcoin you have, you're going to get Bitcoin Cash. And he just woke up with a shit ton of extra money, and that's exactly what he did with it. He sold it off to Bitcoin and alts and ETH, and so it's just this huge creation of money that out of nowhere, which obviously is not sustainable. So
right, so that's kind of why the market was so crazy last year. But in the eye of the hurricane, it was kind of hard to see, because personally, I was going to sell a lot of my crypto after it hit $1 trillion in market cap. That was my hedge. I was like, all right, it's sitting at 800 billion. I think it's going to go past this. I mean, you were like, every day it was like, oh, well, the market cap of crypto is just past Visa. It's just past this company. Like it got up to almost to the top 10 in market cap, right? Because crypto in general got up that high, and so it was crazy paying attention to that. And then all of a sudden, I didn't expect it just such a quick, it was just downward trend the whole year. Never would have thought that. I thought we were going to test 1 trillion, but we didn't.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, and we'll see where it goes from here. Do you have any particular, vision on where you think the market's going to kind of go and how long maybe?
Yeah, you've been doing a little bit of TA. You've been doing some TA lately, haven't you? Or you've working on it?
I've been paying attention to a little bit of that stuff. But the thing is that no one really knows. What we do know is that blockchain is gaining adoption all over the world. Mm-hmm. Just today, the Mediterranean 7 was created, which is like Malta and Spain, France, Italy, Cyprus, and like a couple other countries in the Mediterranean. And they're working on building this blockchain consortium, right? Because they don't want Malta to be the only one who's rolling with the cryptos. And so, dude, that's big. Then there's like all these, and there's that also that it's called Mobi, M-O-B-I. It's like all these group of like automakers and different companies that have partnered together with like IBM and all these other companies, and they got this huge consortium around blockchain. And you got all these different governments that are starting to use blockchain, and and they're crypto assets are here to stay. Now the price is down right now, but blockchain and the crypto assets are here to stay. There's going to be some reimagining done to it. And I think that there's a possibility, and I don't know this for sure, but I mean, who knows? I mean, what's going to happen with the devs of Bitcoin and core BTC, right? Because all those splits have happened, and then some of them went off of Bitcoin Cash, and some of Bitcoin Cash ones gone off to the SV and the Bitcoin Cash ABC and the Bitcoin Cash, AIDS, all the other ones they have. Like, it's just horrible. But like, so these developers are split off, and like, so how about the Bitcoin core? How long are those developers going to stay there building it and doing it? Because that's key, because Bitcoin could turn into the MySpace of crypto. It could.
I hope not.
It's been around though for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's been around for 10 years. MySpace was not around that long. But is it going to be the Facebook? Is there going to be something else? But I guarantee you, since we're paying attention to this, we'll start seeing it evolve,
earlier,
so we won't get screwed.
Right.
But who knows? Bitcoin, what's going to do? I think we'll be lucky to see 5,000 by the end of the year. Don't think. I mean, we could be dwindling down 1,800. Who knows?
I think that's probably more likely at this point. But as depressing as that sounds,
guys, do you know I only had 6 good weeks of crypto? Since I've been
That's
in crypto.
it. Since in your whole crypto
my
career.
entire 6 good weeks.
Right. And you've been chasing that high like a crack junkie the whole time.
Chasing the crypto dragon.
I love it. I can't get enough.
Dude, well, see, once you understand it, you do like it. Like, why do I have to go? Like, seriously, I sold this gold to that dude. He should have sent me Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I had to trust this bullshit check that bounced. Then I had to go and get a new check, and then go to another bank to cash it, and then go to my bank to go deposit it before I go on a trip to Europe. Like, pain in the ass. Send me some crypto, and I got to worry about the shit.
Right, totally. Anyway, yeah, that's completely true, and I think the key will be, once to mass adoption is once that can happen and you don't even realize it's happening. You know what I mean? So because it's still very difficult for the normal person to use if you're not interested in it. Just like you were saying earlier with your REKT stories, like you forget a digit or you need to use all these different wallets and store things online, offline, whatever. Like, so I think
Grandma ain't doing this.
Yeah, no,
Grandma's going to look at you and say, "What?
Grandma ain't doing it." No, exactly.
Grandma ain't doing this.
So, anyway,
she slaps me upside the head and calls me a dummy.
Yeah, a disappointment.
My mom was like, because I've been giving my mom some cryptos along the way, and now she's just disappointed. That was worth so much back in January. I know, Mom. God,
you don't even love me, Travis.
I know. Thought you were going to help me have some cryptos.
That's so funny.
You're just stealing my soul, making me sad, disappointing your whole family. You're worthless.
That's funny. So that's going to do it for our news. So we are going to play a little game with you, Travis, if you will indulge us. So we did this with Joel the other day. This is called the NewlyREKT game. So basically, you and Joel are kind of like a marriage. So we thought it would be a fun idea to send you guys a list of 10 questions that you would have to answer, and then have you try to guess what Joel's answers were. So we did this with Joel the other day, and Joel got, what do you get, Chamber? A 5 out of 10.
A generous 5 out of 10.
A generous 5 out of 10. So we're going to test your knowledge on Joel. So here is question 1. What would Joel say is his favorite altcoin?
His favorite altcoin, I would think he'd probably say Stellar Lumens.
That is correct. Stellar Lumens for the win on that one, which I believe you actually said was yours as well.
It is. Well, I mean, we've chatted about it because the partnership with IBM and the dude who made Stellar Lumens, he was the original founder of Mt. Gox, sold it to that one dude, and then the other dude apparently didn't have any. And then he went and founded Ripple, and then he left Ripple and founded Lumens.
Yeah,
so I guess good.
He seems to know what he's doing.
Good track record.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Question number 2. What would Joel say is his favorite movie?
Oh, man, his favorite movie. Gosh. You know what? I don't know movies. I don't watch a lot of movies. I know he busts my balls a lot about not having ever seen The Godfather. Now, I don't think The Godfather is his favorite movie, but just for the sake of continuity, that's what I'm going to say.
We can. I was gonna say we can give you a hint. We gave Joel a couple of hints for you, on the last one. So I'll give you one hint. It's a Stephen King adaptation.
Okay. It?
No, not
The Shining.
It.
The Shining? No, don't know.
Shawshank Redemption. Was his
what did I put?
movie.
I put The Jerk, didn't I?
You put The Jerk,
put The Jerk.
which is
Classic
a great movie. Great movie.
Dude, I like, if people don't know that movie, I'm like, really? Come on, that's like a great movie. And then people give me a hard time because I haven't seen The Big Lebowski.
Well, no,
So
you would love
The Big Lebowski for the record.
I should probably watch it.
But the jerk is a fine response.
When we got these answers back, I started singing. Chamber the Thermos song.
Oh, that's perfect.
Great. All right, so that's a wrong answer. Question number 3. Now, which coin would Joel say that he would purge, as in wipe off the face of the planet, never to be seen again, no consequences?
It would probably be a drug or a porn coin. Because he doesn't, or a gambling coin.
That is incorrect. He said it would be Bitcoin Cash.
Oh, Bitcoin Cash.
Yep.
Funny. It does have a lot of value. I'd probably get rid of Bitcoin STD.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Cash.
No, you can't get rid of those. You can't get rid of those.
Yeah.
No.
Well, some of them you can.
That's a good answer. Nicely done.
Some of them you can,
Yeah.
Some of them just an antibiotic and from a prescription from Roger Ver, and you're good to go.
You need some Norton antivirus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Call me in the morning.
Question number 4. What would Joel say is his favorite non-crypto activity?
Playing video games.
That is correct. He said playing computer games, so that definitely counts there.
Yep. He had a prolific computer game collection going way back to the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like all those text games and shit on the computers. Mm-hmm. He had them all, and then he moved into like a really cool place, and then he just like purged and sold a bunch of stuff that he so all those video games. So video games have been a big thing for him for a long time.
Yeah, I heard him talking a couple episodes ago about playing Red Dead Redemption right now, and that's I've been doing the same.
Everybody's been talking. I'm like you, Travis. I actually don't. I don't think I've had a system since Nintendo 64 either. Maybe PlayStation 1. But man, everybody talking about Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead
Redemption, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am.
You got some FOMO over there?
Oh, I'm FOMOing hard. I'm like, this sounds terrific. Yeah.
All right, question number 5. Would Joel choose Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
Correct. Definitely Bitcoin there.
We had 3 correct answers, by the way.
Yep. Question number 6 was, what would Joel say is his favorite karaoke song?
Oh, wow. I know he likes to sing karaoke. I've never seen him sing karaoke.
Oh, this needs to change. You guys need to go on a...
We need to go do bad karaoke.
Yeah, how was there no
do
karaoke when you guys were in Vegas? That seems like an easy activity to do.
Dude, they should do bad CryptoCon World Karaoke. You know what's fun? I've been to conferences that has done this before. Adobe has done this, and another conference has done this. Social Media Marketing World has done this, where you actually have a band that plays the songs. Yeah. It's like
really?
live
band karaoke
where the band's right behind you. That's awesome.
It's so much fun. There was
that needs to happen for World CryptoCon next year.
That is fun.
Time.
There was a place I used to go in Boston that did live band karaoke, and then I was in Orlando, Florida at like Universal, and they had a bar that did the live band karaoke. It is so much fun. I think it's great. World CryptoCon should get all over that, because that would drive some engagement for sure.
We'll do that. I'll do that. I'll sing a song. So what is his favorite song to sing? You know what? And I don't even know, like, is there a way to give me a hint on that? Because there's so many.
Sure. So I think he didn't give the artist.
I think I know who it is, though, yeah.
I think it's Usher.
No.
No?
No. I think it's Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. That makes much more sense.
I thought it was Backstreet Boys at first.
Okay,
I think it's Frank Sinatra.
No, it's definitely Frank Sinatra.
Oh my God, I wouldn't know. I don't know. Fly me to the moon. I have no clue.
Well, they share a song title with Usher, so that's an even.
Okay.
It shares a
I don't
song
even
title
know.
with Usher.
I wish it was Usher.
You know how much I listen to Usher? Oh my God,
Yeah,
so much.
But there's an Usher poster on the back of your wall. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Can't hear it all.
Love Usher.
Oh, that his name's Usher.
So, all right, it is. We'll give you the answer here. My Way, which I'm guessing is definitely Frank Sinatra. After
Yeah, like I did it my way, right? Like
yes.
That makes sense. Hearing Joel
I thought
say
it was.
that.
I thought there was a Backstreet Boys song called My Way.
My way.
Well, there's the
He's
Usher
like that
song.
in business too. That's good. My way. My way.
All right.
No,
question.
He's good.
Question 7 here.
Okay.
This will be a fun one. What did Joel say is the one thing that Travis does that drives him crazy? So the one thing that you do that drives him crazy, what would he have said?
Oh, what would he have said? Would have been probably me being late to like an interview or a call.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna give you that because he said he needs an assistant to keep him on track.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And it's like I got a new watch.
Him and his 12
Apple
kids.
Watch.
I mean, I guess understandable.
I know, 13 now. I just found out I had 2 more while we were on the call.
That's funny. All right, question 8. Couple more here. Trezor or Ledger? What would Joel have said?
He would probably say Trezor.
Correct.
Oh, yeah. Tied. For the record, you are now tied with Joel.
With
you
2
have
questions left.
2 questions left. Only one answer needed, or one correct answer needed to overtake him.
Perfect.
All right. Who would Joel say asks the better interview questions out of the 2 of you?
Mr. Travis Wright.
That is correct. That's the winner.
Wow.
And I don't say that because it's the gauge on that is the guests. They'll say, "Oh, that was a great question," and so I'll be like,
"No,
great
that's
question."
fair.
And then I'll message him. I'll be like, "I just got a great question," and then he gets a great question. Like, "See, I got a great question too."
Yeah,
but I have more of those, so it's funny.
Listening,
he asks great questions too, though. Joel asks great questions.
Yeah, listening to your show, I know that you guys always banter about that, so I thought that would be a fun one to ask.
Nice. You're very thorough, Mr. REKT podcast guy.
There you go. Hey, look, we're listeners, you know. So
we do our own research.
Yeah, cool. we do IOR.
That's so good. We taught you guys how to do your own research. That's perfect.
And last question here. We actually sent these to you guys around Thanksgiving. So the question was, what would Joel say is his favorite Thanksgiving food?
I'm not sure. I would probably say it would be either turkey or pumpkin pie or some sort of pie. I'm going to probably say pie.
That is correct. You said pie. He went with stuffing.
You know what? That was an option. I do like dressing.
That's a tough call.
That's good.
Is there stuffing pie? Is that an option?
No, that's gross. That sounds disgusting.
No, I'd still eat that.
Anyway, all right. So you win,
think
Travis.
any of your listeners know who we are?
Yes,
All of them.
I would definitely say yes.
They're like, why are you interviewing these dorks? God, this is gonna be like, these are the worst tube.
Well, it's better than just us
ever.
talking to each other, because that's definitely worse.
When it's just worse when we talk to each other, for sure. You win, Mr. Travis Wright, 6-5. You are the batter of the Bad Crypto podcast.
I'm Mo Batta. Very nice.
That's it. That's gonna do it for our segments. We definitely want to give you a just a couple of seconds here to kind of tell people where they can find you, anything you guys are particularly working on. Floor's yours.
Yeah. So badcryptopodcast.com. You can check us out on pretty much any of the podcast players except YouTube, because YouTube banned us. Because they hate us and they like to censor people, and they're jackasses.
You hear that, YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes. Sergey Brin and Larry Page, may you each die painful deaths.
Oh my God.
We're going to bleep that out.
No, we're not.
I like
we
the
don't
guys
even know how to
start
bleep stuff
censoring
out.
shit. I don't like it when you're censoring people. It's not cool.
That's right.
You said it was my floor as well, so I'm going to go over there.
Yeah.
Quit jumping into my floor time. We're wasting my time. This is precious time here. This is the end of the REKT podcast. Everybody listens this far.
That's right.
Yes.
This is the best.
So I would also say you can connect with us on the Twitters as well. I am TW on Twitter, phonetically TEEDUBYA, because that's what my grandpa called me, TW. So that's what that's all about. LinkedIn, feel free to connect there, wherever. Does not matter. And stay bad.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate having you on. It's been an awesome time getting to know you and Joel a little bit better. So anybody out there who may have still made it to the end, because clearly nobody listens this far, I guess, give us a rate, a review on Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Goes a long way.
You guys about 3 stars?
Yeah, thanks.
3.5.
Look,
come on.
You can't do a half. You can't do a half.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I got to round down.
C's get degrees, you know, so I will take that. But join us in our Telegram group on Telegram, t.me or /REKT_podcast. We have a lot of fun in there. If you have listened to this whole episode and tweet us the hashtag GenesisCock, so we know that you've made it this far. And that's it. So for Travis Wright and Crypto Chamber, I am Bunchu Betts. Until next time, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.